if the question is, if z cube minus zx minus y equal to 0, prove that del 2z upon del x del y means second order partial derivative of z with respect to x and y, which is equal to minus 3z square plus x upon 3z square minus x whole cube. We have given that z cube minus zx minus y equal to 0. Let us give it equation number 1. Then we have to prove that this is equal to this. Now, differentiating one partially with respect to x and y respectively, we have to first find the partial derivative of this equation. Here z is dependent variable, x and y are independent variables. So we have to first find out what is the partial derivative of z with respect to x and what is the partial derivative of z with respect to y. Okay. So let us first find what is the partial derivative of this with respect to x. So here z derivative of z cube is 3z square, and again derivative of z is del z del x with respect to x. Now here we have to apply the product rule because z and x both are functions of x. So first function z, derivative of x with respect to x is 1. So we have only z in the first term, minus, because it is already minus sign, so it will become minus. The derivative of z is del z del x and the second function x. So x into del z del x. And now what is the derivative of y with respect to x? Since x and y are independent, so its value is 0. So we have this is the final expression. Now we want to find out del z del x. So can we write like this? We have to write down this 3z square minus x, and del z del x we have taken as a common. This and this z is transposed to the right hand side, which is this minus z will become plus z. So what is the value of del z del x? It is nothing but z upon 3z square minus x. Z upon 3z square minus x. So this is the value of del z del x. Similarly, let us differentiate partially with respect to y. So derivative of z cube is 3z square del z del y minus x. What is the derivative of z with respect to y? Del z del y, and derivative of y with respect to y is 1. Now here again we can take del z del y as a common in this first two terms. So we can write down 3z square minus x into del z del y, and this minus 1 goes to right hand side, will become plus 1. So what is the value of del z del y? It is nothing but 1 upon 3z square minus x. Let us give it equation number 3. Now we have obtained del z del y. Now just look here del z del y. So we have to just differentiate del z del y with respect to x, then we are able to get our answer. So differentiating 3 partially with respect to x, we have partial derivative of z with respect to y, partial derivative of x of partial del z del y, which is equal to del 2z del x del y, which is equal to del x of 1 upon 3z square minus y, because del z del y is 1 upon del z del y, not del z del x. Del z del y is 1 upon 3z square minus x. So we can write down 3z square minus x whole to the power minus 1. And if you want to find out the derivative of, in the last example we have already seen that, what is the derivative of 1 upon x with respect to x? It is nothing but minus 1 upon x square. So here minus 3z square minus x to the power minus 2. Again derivative of 3z square minus x with respect to x. So we can write down, this can be written as minus 1 upon 3z square minus x whole square. Now what is the derivative of 3z square? It is 6z, and again derivative of z is del z del x, and derivative of x is 1. Minus 1 upon 3z square minus x whole square What is the value of del z del x? Del z del x is nothing but z upon 3z square minus x. 3z square minus x. This one. So let us put the value of del z del x is z upon 3z square minus x minus 1 upon 3z square minus x whole square. This 6z into z will become 6z square upon 3z square minus 1 minus 1. If we take the LCM, LCM is 3z square minus x. So let us write down once again 1 upon 3z square minus x whole square, 6z square minus 3z square. This minus and minus will become plus x. Now this 6z square minus 3z square is 3z square plus x upon 3z square minus x. Okay, now the denominator is same, so its power will be added minus 3z square plus x upon 3z square minus x whole square, and this power has 1, so whole to the power 3. Therefore, del 2z del x del y, which is equal to minus 3z square plus x upon 3z square minus x whole cube. So this is the desired result, hence proved. Thank you.